Time is moving whether you are ready or not. Every morning arrives with a fresh set of hours. And those hours are either directed by you or taken over by habits, noise, and demands that do not care about your future. This is not about pressure. This is about truth. Life does not drift upward. It drifts toward comfort, and comfort slowly steals potential. The gap between where you are and where you want to be is not talent, luck, or circumstances. It is the way your days are being used. Most people feel busy yet unfulfilled. They work hard but wonder why progress feels slow. They carry goals in their mind, but nothing solid seems to change. That frustration has a cause. Progress requires structure. Direction requires decision. Without a plan, effort leaks away. With a plan, even small actions begin to add up. This message is not for someday. It is for today. The future is shaped by ordinary choices made when no one is watching. What you do consistently matters more than what you do occasionally. When days are designed with intention, life begins to respond differently. Confidence grows, stress fades, progress becomes visible. Nothing here requires perfection. It requires honesty, commitment, and the willingness to take control of how time is used. When that control is claimed, life stops feeling random. It starts feeling purposeful. This is about building success one day at a time through simple decisions that guide effort in the right direction. When the days change, everything changes. Part 1, no plan is a plan to fail. A quiet truth runs through every life, whether someone admits it or not. When days begin with no direction, they usually end with the same feeling: confusion, regret, a sense that time moved but progress did not. I have stood in front of thousands of people over the years, and the most common pain I see is not lack of talent, not lack of money, not lack of support. It is the absence of a clear plan, no structure for the day, no written intention, no decision made ahead of time about how life should move forward. And when there is no plan, the day takes control. Circumstances decide. Other people decide. Mood decides. Comfort decides. That is not how success is built. A person without a plan does not wake up defeated, but they wake up unprepared. The morning begins with noise instead of purpose. The phone lights up, messages arrive, demands appear. The mind reacts instead of leads. By noon, energy is scattered. By evening, exhaustion shows up without satisfaction. Nothing important moved forward, yet the day feels heavy. That is the price of drifting through time. It is not dramatic, it is quiet and slow. That is why so many people accept it without protest. Progress never shows up. It arrives because someone decided how the day would be used before the day arrived. A plan is not a rigid prison. It is a clear decision about priorities. It is saying this matters more than that. It is choosing growth over ease. Without that choice, life fills the space with comfort and distraction. Comfort feels good in the moment, but it collects a debt. That debt shows up later as frustration and self-blame. Many people confuse hope with a plan. Hope is useful, but it is weak without direction. Hoping things will change does not create movement. Wanting more does not shape behavior. A plan does. A plan tells the body what to do when the mind feels tired. A plan tells the mind what matters when emotions start pulling in different directions. When the plan is missing, feelings take over, and feelings change every hour. I have watched people with average ability pass people with great talent simply because they planned their days. They decided in advance how much time would be given to learning, to work, to thinking, to health. They did not wait for motivation. They built a routine that carried them forward even on low-energy days. That is the quiet power of a plan. It removes drama. It replaces guessing with action. A day without a plan is not neutral. It leans toward failure. Not because someone is lazy, but because the human mind seeks ease when there is no structure. It chooses the familiar. It avoids effort. That is natural. A plan interrupts that pattern. It introduces intention. It asks the question early, before the day begins, about what progress will look like when the sun goes down. Without that early decision, the answer is usually disappointment. Some people resist planning because they think it limits freedom. The opposite is true. A plan creates freedom from regret, freedom from constant decision-making, freedom from wasting mental energy. When the plan is clear, action becomes simple. The mind relaxes because it knows what comes next. That calm focus is powerful. It allows deeper work. Failure rarely announces itself loudly. It arrives through small daily choices, sleeping later than intended, skipping the task that matters most, pushing important work to tomorrow. These choices feel harmless in the moment. Without a plan, they feel justified. With a plan, they stand out. They become visible. And what becomes visible? A plan does not need to be complex. Complexity often becomes another excuse to delay. A few clear actions written down carry more power than a complicated system that never gets used. The value is not in the paper. It is in the commitment behind it. Writing the plan is a moment of honesty. It forces a person to admit what truly matters and what has been avoided. I have seen people change their entire future by deciding how the first hour of the day would be used. Not by adding more hours, but by using the existing ones with care. When the day begins with intention, the rest of the day tends to follow. When the day begins with reaction, the rest of the day becomes defense. A plan also reveals priorities. Time never lies. If something is not in the plan, it is not a priority, no matter what words are spoken. This can be uncomfortable, but it is also empowering. It allows a person to realign life with values instead of wishes. That alignment creates inner strength. It builds self-respect. Living without a plan creates a quiet erosion of confidence. Promises are made internally and broken daily. That breaks trust with oneself. Over time, the voice inside becomes weaker. Doubt grows louder. A plan rebuilds that trust. Each completed task becomes a small vote for self-belief. Momentum grows from consistency, not from intensity. Some days will still be difficult. A plan does not remove obstacles. It prepares a response. When challenges appear, the plan provides a baseline. It says, this is what matters even now. Without that anchor, challenges easily become excuses. A person may say they want success, peace, or progress, but the day reveals the truth. The schedule just tells the story. Where time goes, life follows. No plan means life is driven by urgency instead of importance. That leads to constant pressure and little fulfillment. Designing a plan is an act of leadership over one's own life. It says the future is not left to chance. It says today matters. It says small actions repeated daily are respected. This attitude separates those who move forward from those who stay stuck while staying busy. The cost of planning is small. A few minutes of thought, a few decisions made ahead of time. The cost of not planning is enormous. Years pass, potential fades. Regret grows heavy. Most people do not fail because they aim too high. They fail because they never decided how to aim at all. When someone commits to planning their days, something changes inside. Focus sharpens. Energy improves. Progress becomes visible. Confidence returns. Life begins to feel directed instead of random. That feeling is not luck. It is the result of intention applied daily. A plan is not about controlling every detail. It is about choosing direction. Without direction, effort scatters. With direction, effort compounds. That difference decides outcomes. Every meaningful life is built on purpose repeated daily. Purpose requires clarity. Clarity requires a plan. Remove the plan, and success becomes a wish. Add the plan, and success becomes a process. Part 2, success is built daily, not someday. There is a dangerous lie many people carry without realizing it. The lie says success will arrive one day in the future, when conditions are better, when confidence is higher, when time opens up. That belief sounds harmless, but it quietly steals years. Success does not live in someday. It lives in today. It is built in ordinary hours, during regular mornings, inside simple routines that look unimpressive from the outside. The people who move forward are not waiting for a perfect season. They are using the season they are in. Every strong result comes from small actions repeated. Not once, not when energy is high, not when motivation feels good. It comes from daily effort applied even when the mood is low. Many people want a breakthrough without respecting the process that creates it. They chase big moments while ignoring small habits. Approach always disappoints. A day may feel too small to matter, but days stack quickly. One careless day becomes a careless week. One focused day becomes momentum. The future is built from these quiet blocks of time. Nothing magical happens overnight. What happens instead is something far more reliable. Improvement adds up. People often say they are busy, yet nothing meaningful moves forward. Busy does not mean productive. Motion does not mean progress. Success is not created by doing more things. It is created by doing the right things consistently. That consistency can only happen when daily actions are respected. There is something powerful about waking up knowing exactly what needs to be done. Not everything, just the important things. That clarity removes stress. The mind stops racing, energy stops leaking, focus tightens. The day begins to serve a purpose instead of fighting for attention. Waiting for inspiration is another trap. Inspiration is unreliable. Discipline is dependable. On the days when enthusiasm is absent, habits still perform. That is why success belongs to those who build systems, not those who chase feelings. Feelings come and go. Systems stay. Daily effort shapes identity. When a person keeps promises to themselves each day, confidence grows naturally. There is no need for loud self-talk. Proof replaces doubt. The body remembers action. The mind begins to expect progress. That expectation becomes a powerful force. Many people underestimate what can be done in a year because they overestimate what can be done in a week. They try to rush results, get discouraged, and quit. The wiser approach is patience combined with persistence. Small steps taken daily cover great distances over time. There is also peace that comes with daily progress. Anxiety often comes from avoidance. When important work is delayed, it stays in the background of the mind, creating tension. When action is taken daily, even in small amounts, that tension eases. Progress calms the spirit. Success built daily is quieter than most expect. It does not announce itself with noise. It shows up as improved skills, stronger habits, better thinking. Others may not notice at first. That is fine. Results revealed. The daily process also builds resilience. When setbacks occur, the routine remains. A bad day does not turn into a bad month because the structure is still there. The next day becomes a return point instead of a restart. People who rely on someday often feel stuck. They wait for confidence before acting. Confidence is a result, not a requirement. Action creates confidence, not the other way around. Each completed task sends a signal to the brain that growth is happening. There is dignity in daily effort. It builds self-respect. A person begins to trust themselves again. That trust is priceless. It affects every area of life, from work to relationships, to health. Time is fair. Everyone receives the same 24 hours. The difference is not time. It is use. Those who succeed treat time as an investment, not as something to kill. Each day becomes a chance to add value to the future. Some days progress will feel slow. That is normal. Growth is not always visible. But something important is happening beneath the surface. Skills are forming, habits are strengthening. Direction is being reinforced. Daily work also simplifies life. Big goals can feel overwhelming. Breaking them into daily actions makes them manageable. The mind can handle today. It struggles with forever. Focus on today, and forever takes care of itself. A person who commits to daily progress stops negotiating with excuses. They stop asking if they feel like it. The work becomes part of who they are. That identity shift is where lasting change lies. Success is not a destination reached by luck. It is a lifestyle built by choice. That choice is made daily, often quietly, often without applause. But it is always powerful. The future rewards consistency, not intensity. A steady pace beats bursts of effort, followed by long pauses. Daily discipline may feel slow, but it is unstoppable. When someone understands that today matters, urgency becomes healthy instead of stressful. There is no panic, only purpose. Each day becomes meaningful. The greatest breakthroughs often look small in the beginning. A single hour used well, a single habit honored, a single promise kept. Those moments stack. And one day, the results speak clearly. Success does not arrive on a calendar date. It grows, it matures, it is earned daily. And the person who understands this stops waiting and starts building. Part 3, the simple daily system. Progress becomes reliable when life stops depending on willpower alone. Willpower fades. Energy rises and falls. Mood shifts without warning. A simple daily system removes the gamble, creates order where chaos used to live. It turns good intentions into steady action. The most successful people are not stronger than others. They are more organized in how they live each day. A daily system is not complicated. It does not require special tools or long hours. It begins with clarity, knowing what matters today. Not everything, just what truly moves life forward. When the mind knows the target, the body follows more easily. Confusion drains energy. Clarity restores it. The system starts with deciding in advance how the day will be used. Not every minute, but the key moments. The hours that shape results. When those hours are protected, progress becomes predictable. Without protection, they disappear into noise. A strong daily system respects mornings. The first part of the day sets the tone. When mornings are rushed and random, the rest of the day follows that pattern. When mornings are calm and intentional, focus lasts longer. Starting the day with purpose changes everything. Writing things down matters. Thoughts held only in the mind compete with distractions. Written plans stand still. They wait patiently. They bring the mind back when attention drifts. This is not about perfection, it is about direction. A daily system includes time for learning. Growth requires input, reading, listening, thinking. Even a short period each day compounds quickly. Ignoring learning leads to stagnation. Consistent learning keeps the mind sharp and flexible. Work time must be defined, not endless hours, but focused effort. When work has a clear start and end, it becomes more productive. Scattered work wastes energy. Focused work builds results. Rest is also part of the system. Recovery is not laziness, it is maintenance. A tired mind makes poor decisions. A rested mind performs better. Balance increases endurance. A simple system includes review. At the end of the day, a moment of reflection builds awareness. What worked? What did not? No judgment, just observation. Awareness leads to improvement. Consistency matters more than intensity. A system that is too demanding will be abandoned. A system that fits real life survives. The goal is progress, not punishment. Many people fail because they change plans daily based on feelings. A system reduces that instability. It creates a baseline. Even on difficult days, the basics get done. The power of a system is repetition. Repetition builds habit. Habit removes resistance. What once felt hard becomes automatic. That is when effort feels lighter. A daily system also protects priorities. Urgent demands try to steal time from important work. A system says no without guilt. It already decided what matters. Simplicity keeps the system alive. Too many rules create stress. A few clear actions create momentum. The system should serve life, not control it. Small wins matter. Completing daily actions builds confidence. Confidence fuels further action. This cycle strengthens over time. A system creates stability during chaos. When life gets unpredictable, the system provides grounding. It becomes an anchor. Daily systems also improve decision-making. Fewer decisions are needed because many choices are already made. This saves mental. Over time, the system shapes identity. A person begins to see themselves as disciplined, reliable, focused. Identity drives behavior more than motivation ever could. A system also reveals truth. When progress stalls, the system shows where adjustments are needed. It removes excuses. No system works overnight. Patience is required. But the results are certain when consistency is honored. A simple daily system turns goals into actions. It turns dreams into routines. It turns hope into structure. Life feels lighter when there is a plan for the day. Stress decreases. Confidence grows. Progress becomes visible. The system does not need approval from others. It only needs commitment. When days are designed, life improves naturally. There is less chaos and more calm, less regret and more satisfaction. A simple daily system guarantees progress because it removes randomness. It replaces chance with choice. And when choice becomes habit, success stops being uncertain. Part 4, discipline, the bridge between goals and achievement. There is a moment in every person's life when desire meets resistance. The goal looks clear in the mind, but the body hesitates. Comfort speaks louder than commitment. This is where most people stop, not because they lack dreams, but because they lack discipline. Discipline is not harsh. It is not punishment. It is self-respect in action. It is the quiet decision to do what matters even when it would be easier not to. Goals are fragile without discipline. Writing them down feels good. Talking about them feels exciting. But when effort is required day after day, excitement fades. Discipline remains. Discipline does not argue. It does not wait for the right feeling. It acts because a decision has already been made. Many people misunderstand discipline. They think it means forcing yourself through misery. That idea pushes them away from it. Real discipline feels different. It feels calm. It feels steady. It feels like alignment. When actions match values, inner conflict decreases. Peace grows. Discipline is built in small moments. Getting up when the alarm rings. Starting the task instead of delaying. Finishing what was started. These moments seem minor, but they shape character. Character decides outcomes. The bridge between wanting and achieving is built daily with disciplined actions. Without that bridge, goals remain on one side and reality stays on the other. Discipline connects the two. Motivation is emotional. Discipline is intentional. Motivation rises and falls. Discipline stays. Depending on motivation alone creates inconsistency. Discipline creates reliability. Discipline also creates freedom. When habits are strong, less energy is spent deciding. The mind becomes clearer. Time feels more available. Freedom grows from structure. There will be days when discipline feels uncomfortable. That discomfort is temporary. Regret lasts longer. Choosing discipline now prevents regret later. A disciplined life reduces stress. Chaos often comes from avoidance. When tasks are handled on time, pressure decreases. Confidence increases. Discipline strengthens identity. Each disciplined action sends a message to the mind about who you are. Over time, that identity becomes solid. People who lack discipline often feel stuck. They wait for external changes. Disciplined people create internal change. That change affects everything else. Discipline does not mean perfection. Mistakes happen. What matters is returning to the path quickly. Consistency beats perfection. Discipline also protects self-belief. Keeping promises to yourself builds trust. Breaking them repeatedly weakens confidence. The rewards of discipline compound. Small efforts accumulate. Results grow quietly until they become undeniable. Discipline is learned, it is practiced, it improves with use. No one starts perfect. A disciplined routine creates momentum. Momentum makes progress easier. Stopping becomes harder than continuing. Discipline helps handle emotions. Instead of reacting, disciplined people respond. That response leads to better outcomes. A disciplined person does not wait for approval. They act according to values. That independence builds strength. Discipline turns ordinary days into meaningful progress. It makes life feel intentional. When discipline becomes part of identity, success feels natural. It stops feeling forced. The bridge of discipline must be crossed daily. Each step matters. Those who build that bridge walk steadily toward their goals. Those who avoid it remain stuck in wishing. Discipline is not loud. It is quiet and powerful. It is the difference between knowing and doing. And doing change. Part 5. Design your days. Design your life. Life responds to design, whether that design is intentional or accidental. When days are left open with no structure, life fills them with noise, distraction, and urgency. When days are designed with care, life begins to feel calmer, clearer, and more meaningful. The quality of a life is rarely decided by one big event. It is shaped by ordinary days handled with purpose. Most people want a better life, but very few decide how their days should actually look. They think in terms of years and dreams, yet they live in hours and minutes. The disconnect creates frustration. A life improves only when the days that make it up are improved first. Designing a day does not mean controlling every moment. It means choosing direction. It means deciding what deserves attention and what does not. Without that decision, time is pulled apart by other people's priorities. Energy gets spent reacting instead of creating. A well-designed day has rhythm. There's time for effort and time for recovery. Time for focus and time for reflection. When everything blends together, fatigue builds. When there is structure, energy flows better. The mind feels safer with structure. It relaxes when it knows what is coming next. Anxiety often comes from uncertainty. Designing the day reduces that uncertainty. It replaces worry with clarity. Many people underestimate how much control they have over their days. They feel trapped by routines they never chose. The moment someone decides to redesign even a small part of the day, power returns, confidence grows. Designing days also sharpens awareness. When time is planned, wasted moments become visible. This is not about guilt. It is about honesty. Awareness creates choice. Choice creates change. A designed day respects energy levels. Important work is placed when focus is strongest. Lighter tasks are handled when energy dips. This simple adjustment improves results without adding more hours. Designing days builds momentum. When one good day follows another, life begins to feel organized. Chaos fades, progress becomes. A life designed on purpose feels different. There is less rush and more intention, less frustration and more satisfaction. Even challenges feel manageable because there is a framework to handle them. People who design their days stop living on defense. They stop constantly catching up. They begin leading their time instead of chasing it. Design also protects what matters most. Health, learning, relationships, and growth often disappear when days are unplanned. When days are designed, these priorities have a place. Designing days builds self-respect. It sends a message that your time matters. That message changes behavior. A designed day also improves decision-making. Fewer impulsive choices are made. The mind stays clearer. Energy is conserved. Over time, designed days create a designed life. Habits shape character. Character shapes destiny. Life does not improve by accident. It improves by design. Designing days reduces regret. When the day ends, there is a sense of completion instead of disappointment. Even if everything was not finished, what mattered was handled. People often chase balance without structure. Balance comes from design. It is built, not found. Designing days also increases gratitude. When time is used well, appreciation grows. The day feels full, not empty. A designed life feels aligned. Actions match values. This alignment brings peace. No one designs perfect days. That is not the goal. The goal is direction, not perfection. Each morning becomes an opportunity to recommit to design. Each evening becomes a chance to review and adjust. Design creates consistency. Consistency creates trust in oneself. Trust builds confidence. When days are designed, goals stop feeling distant. They become part of daily life. Designing days also teaches patience. Progress is steady. There is no rush, only movement. A life designed with intention feels meaningful. Time stops slipping away unnoticed. The greatest freedom comes from structure chosen, not structure imposed. When days are designed, life becomes deliberate, and a deliberate life is a powerful one. At some point, information must turn into action. Words only matter when they change the way tomorrow is handled. The value of everything shared here lives in what you choose. To do when the video ends and the day continues. Progress does not ask for perfection. It asks for commitment. It asks for consistency. It asks for respect for time. The future is not built in big moments. It is built in quiet hours, through small choices that feel ordinary but carry great weight. When you decide how your days will be used, life stops drifting. Direction replaces confusion. You already have enough time. You already have enough ability. What changes everything is deciding to use them with intention. When your days are designed, effort begins to work for you instead of against you. This is not about pushing harder. It is about choosing better. One plan, one disciplined action, one well-used day at a time. Stay committed to the process. Trust the daily work. Let consistency do its job. When you take control of your days, you take control of your life.